Is that going to be the back of the rampart?
Yeah, it looks like a rear abutment wall, possibly. The stone underneath there.
Back in the woods, we've found the first tantalising signs of how this huge bank was constructed.
That's nice, isn't it, laid in there?
It's classic. This could be really well built.
Look at
There's
that.
another one there.
Yeah. But this would be an indicator that it might be an Iron Age construction.
Not only that, it could be an indicator that this is an entrance.
This is great. If this does turn out to be the entrance to an Iron Age hill fort, it'll be an exciting discovery. On the other hand, we shouldn't be surprised. This entire landscape is packed with prehistoric monuments. Some are 2,500 years old and Iron Age, some go further back into the Bronze Age, others earlier still into the Neolithic. But if there's one type of prehistoric monument Herefordshire has in spades, it's Iron Age hill forts, as our historian Bettany Hughes is finding out.
There's this classic hill fort territory here. We've got major river valleys cutting through the landscape. We've got the River Lug coming up here, winding its way round the site and up to the north. We've got the River Arrow coming in here. And we've got a number of quite famous hill forts in this area. For instance, we've got Croft Ambre up here, got Credden Hill down here, Sutton Walls here.
I tell you, the only thing that bothers me, though, is that we know there's Bronze Age activity here. So why are we obsessing about the Iron Age? Well, why is this not some special Bronze Age site?
Yeah, we've got to remember that, you know, the world doesn't start with the Iron Age. There's what, these 2,000–3,000 years going back to the Neolithic period before that. And if something's good in one period, it's going to be potentially good strategically in another period. So we've got to some extent, keep an open mind about what might be on here.
Well, if there is a hill fort here kind of embraced by the River Lug, it's going to be a pretty enormous one.
It is. I mean, that's slightly worrying to some extent because I've had a look at the area. If it is a hill fort, it's going to be 43 acres, which is enormous.
Crikey, if this place really is 43 acres, that's twice the size of any of the other hill forts in the area. And that's not the only thing I find baffling. Where have Faye and Tracy gone?
Why is there no one in that trench? It was only put in about an hour ago.
Yeah, well, they're saying it's natural. I.e., there's nothing man-made there.
But, John, that was where you said that there was going to be pits and ditches.
Well, I hope there would be. I did actually say there's a possibility it's just natural features.
Yeah.
The geology's making things difficult. It's difficult to see things. That's why we've not seen the big deep ditch, because of all the geology on top.
And is that why you've put in this one?
Well, I'm even more hopeful about this one.
Sure.
You're going to say I'm clutching at straws, but
Yeah.
look at the results now. In amongst all this detail here, can you see that curving arc?
I can.
Just in case you couldn't, there. Now, we've put the trench in there. I'd like to interpret that as a central pit, hearth, and part of a roundhouse. They're going to prove me right or wrong.
That would be good, wouldn't it? Because if we've got some kind of entrance to our Iron Age hill fort, if that's what it is, and if we've got some kind of bank and ditch, there's got to be some activity in the middle.
Yes. And this is the best we've got so far.
So we're having another stab at finding signs of life on this hill by putting in a fourth trench here. It might be painfully slow going up here, but over in Trench 1, we've had our first big breakthrough.
Wow, Matt, so it was all colluvium?
Yes, hidden underneath this. Yeah. There's your ditch. There it is, look. There's the, well, you can see there's the grey natural there. There's the line of the edge of the ditch, and then there's the fill of the ditch, the kind of blue-grey silt. Perfect.
Better still, our environmental expert, Mike Allen, has got an intriguing find.
Oh, look at that. That's oak, isn't it?
Yeah, this is oak, and the auguring did show that we might have waterlogging at the bottom of this ditch, and indeed we have. And this is, as you can't really say, it's probably oak, but it's also probably a stake, so a wooden stake driven into the ground, and it's now fallen into the ditch.
And you've got bits of charcoal and all sorts in here. I mean, it's rich, isn't it?
There's charcoal all over the place. There's bits in here and here. So this is part of the occupation within the site, or part of the destruction, but that's not all. We have got here other pieces of wood other than the stakes, badly preserved, but for an upland site,
it's magic.
Waterlogged wood is almost unprecedented.
This is more like it. We've found the giant ditch we saw on Keith's aerial photo. And it looks like it may have been defended by a palisade of sharpened stakes on the bank behind it.
Hello, my name's John Gator. Time Team is fan-funded by Patreon. This vital support helps us to make new episodes. Joining Patreon gives you access to exclusive interviews, 3D models and masterclasses, plus lots more.